All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is Saturday, July 29th, 2017. This is a Saturday morning webinar, and the title of today's webinar is Introducing the New Stealth Auto Trader. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, forex trading, any kind of financial instrument trading involves risk, and therefore there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we have, our live trading room, or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? If not, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, I don't see any, so let's go ahead and get started. First off, let me go ahead and show a screen. And y'all that have been with us a long time, we do have some trialers in here today and also some special invites. So I'll go over a couple of things. Now, this looks like, what in the world, you know, what is this chart actually showing me right here, right? Well, this is our webinar chart that we like to use, okay, to tell us which direction we're looking for our trade. But with this new Stealth Trader, you can do away with quite a bit of that, okay? Now, I think it's pretty obvious if you have a high here, a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, a little lower low, lower high, and even lower low, that we're pretty much in a downtrend, right? So, you know, that's obvious. But what if you could actually trade this? Long, add, out, short, probably got stopped out unless you use the second stealth. There's your second one. There's a long right there. There's a short right there. And there's a short right here. Okay, that's the stealth line. So we've engineered a trader in Object Trader called the Stealth Trader. Okay, let me show it to you. Bear with me a second. I'll get this screen down. And let me show you, I'm going to show you three charts here in just 1 second, first off, and then we're just going to do away with the first two because we've already gone over the features of it. All right, this is the different type of traders that we have built into Object Trader now. I think everybody knows that we added Predictor recently, a very, very good trader. It would look for this trade right here. Okay, you can tell it exactly how you want to take it. It's just like a region. Very, very good little trading system right there. You can even use require trend and make sure that it doesn't go against the trend. And the same thing with these other traders too. PM Trader is a lightning trader, you know, your lightning swings. And then this is the new Stealth Trader right here. You don't have this on yours just yet, obviously, but you will have. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just show this one right here. Now, what would you do if you were in a case like this right here? I mean, most traders, you know, what would you actually do in a case like this? What do you think? Anybody? I'll tell you what most people do that are traders. They'll get up, they'll see something like this, and you know what they'll do? They'll hit a market order. They'll think, wow, this thing's going crazy, okay? And what happens when you usually do that? Anybody? You don't buy the thrust, right? You don't buy the thrust. Now, or you don't sell the thrust. Now, what if you were, you know, I picked this on purpose right here, just kind of to throw on a trade. I don't trade this time of night or anything, so I think it's kind of fair to just throw up a chart and put this market replay, just kind of drag it to the middle and then just start calling trades out. If you've been in our trade room, you know that, you know, it's obviously not able to call trades on Saturday because it's closed. So I'm going to simulate how you trade this. And I don't trade this time of night or anything, and I certainly didn't trade it on the 27th. And all I did is basically just start it and drag the little indicator to start wherever, and that's where we ended up, okay? So naturally, if I would have done it, you know, like trying to fake you or anything like that, I would have probably gotten it, you know, somewhere in here, for instance. But what do you do when you're obviously all the way down here? Okay, most people, like I said, They don't wait for a retracement, and they just go ahead and short. You know, they might just short one contract, but all of a sudden it's in their face, they get out, and then they're down for the morning or the evening or whenever they trade it, right? And that's what you need to definitely stop doing. One thing we teach at Viper Trading Systems is that you wait for the retrace. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and start this, and we're not going to chase this trade. We're going to wait for a retrace. But we're going to start a little deal called stealth. See this stealth line right here? All right, we're going to start stealth. We're going to look for a short. All right? We are going to also set our trail stop ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and just set, we've got a new trail stop, by the way, for you Viper traders who've been with us, that you're going to like. It's called Stealth. And what we're looking for right this very moment is the resumption of stealth. Now, you'll notice right here that this is what we call a predictor trade. Now, I would probably do this, okay, because that predictor actually just went beautifully where I want it. See that predictor right there? Okay, but what if I wanted to add on stealth? Stealth, the way we've designed this is when stealth shows up, you're going to actually be able to either add contracts or jump in for the first time. You're going to be able to tell it whether or not you want to stay with the first stealth. You can even choose the second stealth. You can even choose a third stealth or a fourth stealth. It's up to you. It's got a counter in this that actually will let you, you know, for instance, if this was sideways like this, maybe you didn't want the first stealth, but you want the second one. So you just tell it which one you want. Now, when I put stealth on the chart right now, it doesn't know about these, okay? It doesn't know about these because I just put it on the chart. So if I was to choose 0, it's going to look for the very first stealth, and it'll fire the trade as soon as it sees it, okay? Do the T or B buttons matter on stealth? No, not at all. Stealth is just simply what we're waiting for on stealth is we're waiting on the stealth line to show up, and we've got algorithms built into it where it knows where stealth needs to be, and it'll fire the trade before you see stealth, okay? Because what it's looking for is in our algorithm, see where this is blanked out right here? We're looking for a resumption of selling. If it happens, now this may not happen. We may even get stopped out of this trade. I'll go ahead and put my stop just above midband just in case. That's kind of the way we teach it. And you can clearly see that if it was to head up, you'd get a low, a high, a higher low, and even a higher high. So, you know, if it takes this little swing out, more than likely you're not going to stay with this trade. Okay? Now, stealth is looking for this red to resume, and you'll see it if it does. Now, we don't know if it's going to just yet, but this looks like a pretty good downtrend to me, so more than likely we're going to get a stealth or we're going to get stopped out. Okay, and if we get stopped out, it's not a big deal. I got one contract, you know, on, and we'll just play with this and see what it does. All right. Notice how price just kind of oscillates back and forth, and see so many people, they go, oh, okay, that bar went down. I'm gonna sell some. You know, and that's not the way to trade. Okay, the way to trade is to get these beautiful kiss trades. There's your stealth, by the way. Okay. We'll go ahead and get a couple of targets out of the way, and we're going to engage our stealth as our trail. Now, what's the stealth? It'll engage as the trail. See the stealth right here? Now, you've got an offset on here also where you can set it, for instance, like 4 ticks above it or 3 ticks or whatever. You can even set it on exit on close if you want also, you know, which obviously would mean that it would have to close above that line. Now, like I say, this is going to be a pretty nice little trader because what this does is it takes these trades on this stealth line. Okay? See the stealth line right here? Now, what if you weren't in this trade just yet and you thought, you know what? I might just like to get in this. And by the way, I can even move my stop like to midband again. See, I've got 3 different trail stops on here. One's called midband, or, you know, the dynamic trend is what it's actually doing it off of. And then we've got the new stealth, and we've got our lightning swings. Now, our lightning swings would probably put our stop since this thrust down so hard, would probably put our stop up in here somewhere, okay, because you've got a little thrust down retrace. Let's see where lightning would put it for the fun of it. Let's just engage it and see. Yeah, it puts it right there, and that's 4 ticks off that swing. See there? So if I put it at 0, it would be right on top of that swing. See how lightning would work? Now you've got a lightning trail on here now, you've got a stealth trail on here now, and you do have your VIP dynamic trend. Okay? Now, what if you're the type of trader that likes to make pretty decent profit in a morning, and too many times you get like 10 ticks and you get out of a move that might run 50? We don't know, but what if it did? Okay? Well, this is where stealth will come in handy, because you get these retracements into stealth. And I've got this set. I can put this on auto, by the way, and turn on my short. And every single time it comes into a stealth and rolls over, it'll fire 3 more contracts. Okay, I can do it that way. I have to turn on what I call my LESE, which means that it's going to automatically leave my auto LESE on. And if I put it on required trend, let's say that I wanted to do a long stealth, but I've got a downtrend. If I put it on required trend, it turns off my long, because we're not looking for longs, are we? Right now? Now, if this does a huge thrust down, I may turn long on, because, you know, once they finally do a really, really good thrust, you usually get some pretty good retracements, and you can turn that on if you want. Okay? What does everybody think so far? Stealth trader, pretty awesome. Let's see, MG says, curious what the execution price was on the add-on 3 contracts, if it would be, well, let's just turn it off and see. Let's just turn it off and see. I'll turn this off and we'll look for a stealth trade. We'll watch the execution of it. If it does it, now we may have just gotten out of a trade, and if we did, we did. But, you know, lots of times I would figure it would retrace into here. Wouldn't you? Somewhere into there anyway. That's where resistance is. There it just took out stealth, so now if it forms stealth again, guess what? It'll fire those 3 contracts again. We'll see if it does. Now you're going to notice, let's watch stealth in real time. See, you got stealth right here. That's that line right there. All right. If stealth happens to light up red again, it'll fire it, but you're going to see the trade fire a little before you see the color. And the reason for that is because the algorithm sees it before we do. Okay? And we want to get in this trade as early as possible. Okay, we're above the stealth line, no big deal. Let's see if we get another one. This looks like a pretty good downtrend. Now, by the way, lots of our indicators will also tell you, doesn't this tell you right here that you're in a downtrend, power meter 3, but you're in an uptrend as far as a little trend is concerned, little micro trend. Okay, and I could show you, but this webinar is not about this little indicator, but you could actually literally get in this trade based on a power meter and probably get 5 ticks pretty easily. And a lot of our people do that all the time. Rome says, I've been waiting 3 years for this. I have 3 years of data that shows this works well. And the beauty of it is that with this particular little trader designed for it, you'll be able to just turn it on. Okay? And keep in mind that you're not going to want every single stealth, but I find even when they run their gamut that a lot of times you can turn on the second one and it does extremely well. And another rule of thumb is stealth under mid-band for, you know, short type trades, and stealth above mid-bands for longs, or at least close to mid-band for longs. When am I going to be sending those scripts out, Mindy? Just as soon as we check it out and make sure that it works perfectly. Let's see, can you send my email to Rome so I can ask him to see his stealth data? Rome, do you actually run data on it, or is it just, do you have it like, you know, where you can show or anything like that? Would you send it to me? Let's see, when you use stealth, does color or touch button matter? No. Oh, it's only manual, cannot send? Okay. also look at above question just a second. I think I got that one, didn't I, Mindy? I don't understand how you can have a stealth stop out and a stealth add-on at the same time. Well, what you can actually do is you wouldn't want to do that way. What I was talking about on this, you can use stealth as your stop, okay, if you want to, and then you just jump back in on stealth again, okay, or you could simply do like we do, you know, and I mean, this is a great thrust down, little retrace, little thrust down, should retrace again, right? And that's what we're looking for. Doesn't mean you have to use stealth. See, we could use midband instead. See the midband or line 5 for a short. I'm going to even get another one added to this for you long-term traders. See these predictors right here? As long as these predictors are not taken out, you are heading that direction. Now, when they start taking them out, you're no longer heading that way. Let's see, it's conservative and takes fewer trades, but eliminates a lot of absolutely. And you know, the killer to anybody's account is bad trades, obviously. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. This is slow in the middle of the evening. We'll see if we can get another trade. Either that or we'll go in the other direction, maybe above mid-band. We'll find out. If stealth actually fires, though, there it is right there. It just fired. See, whoop, I just moved my stop accidentally. See where that fired right there? Unfortunately, we'll have to do it again because I accidentally moved my stop instead of my target. That was a quick little move. Let's see if we can get another one. We'll see if we can get another one. Watch how stealth will get you in a good trade. Let's just see. Just let it do its thing. Not above stealth yet. There it's above stealth. Didn't close above it, though. Let's see if we can get another trade. Yeah, you can put your targets absolutely lower, obviously. See how that fired again? Oh, I just moved my stop again. I'm messing up on that. But you can still see it's adding up quite nicely. Okay, let's look at it again. Let's see how many of these we could actually take. Bear with me a second. I'm going to change my targets. I'm going to put targets at like 10, 17, and we'll do 25, and we'll do a big runner on this one. We'll just go ahead and do like 40. Okay, let's see if we can get something. This is very cool, isn't it? Like I say, I think you're going to really like this. Mindy, the one reason that I do like the idea of a stealth stop a lot of times too is to give you an example. Let's see if we get a trade. But if you look at when it's sideways, for instance, if you were to go long here on that bar, you wouldn't have gotten 5 ticks. You would have gotten stopped out. See what I mean? That's why I would use stealth if I was going to go against the trend. Because the trend, once this background turned red and everything, this was pretty much saying that we were going short. See that background turned red? Our midband was still yellow, but it turned magenta here, which is definitely the short color. So you wouldn't really want to be looking at these trades to begin with. Let's see if we can get another trade. We'll see if we can get another trade. All right, notice how stealth stays beautiful right through here. Now watch, okay, if it closes above it, it's going to basically make a little gap in it. And when it gaps like that, then it reforms. And the beauty of this stealth trader is that reforming is what gets you the trade. Okay? Let's just see if we can get another one. Either that or we're going to very possibly be out of, this is a pretty good thrust, right? Pretty good thrust. But let's just trust our little trader and see if we can get in another one. Mindy says our web coder is amazing. I agree. He is very, very good. By the way, he also fixed the little problem that when things go, there it is. Now notice that stealth did not show up yet. See that? Even though it fired, the reason is because the algorithm already saw it. But watch stealth will show up. And we had to have had a little gap in it. Or we just turned it, you know what? I think he actually coded this where we can get in this anytime. See that? That didn't gap. that would be very, very cool. Because in other words, let's say that you weren't in a trade and you missed it even here. If you turn stealth on, it should fire when the bar closes down. I'll ask him on that because he's the coder on it. So, we'll leave that all to him. All right. Now notice that my trail stops and everything, I can absolutely just control right from the get-go. I can do it on the fly. If I want my stop at line 5 on VIP dynamic trend, I can just go to line 5 just like that. Because in a big run like this, maybe we want that. Okay? Maybe we want that. That may have been also because that did close on stealth. See, that bar closed on stealth, so that may have seen that same trade. Because I didn't see a gap in it there, but it did fire our trade, so that's good enough for me. Okay? Now, this little trader, it has been a long time in the works because basically the way I wanted this designed is I want it to see stealth in real time, but I also want it to be able to add on. It's super important to be able to add on trades. Okay? Because if you get a trade, see here we just added on. We've got 4 contracts on. Notice why that happened. Stealth, gapped, see the gap right there? And then it started again. Okay? Now, are we going to get stopped out on this trade? Well, we'll find out. Stops above the little predictor. And like I said, I'm going to add this trail stop to Object Trader because you're going to notice that this trail stop for runners would be really good, just putting them right above this. And then when they start stair-stepping instead of down on the predictors, the trade's pretty much over. Or at least they're going into deeper retracements. Okay, let's leave our stop in. Now, if we get another stealth, it'll fire 3 more contracts. Now, keep in mind, now see, I've got 7 on now. That's a lot, okay? But the reason for that is because in my Object Trader, I've got it set for as many as 8 on NQ, okay? So with 8 contracts, that's basically like 4 on oil, which is not that bad, okay? So the most I'll get is 8. See there, there's 7 again, okay? Notice how that's really racking up dollars, by the way, okay? Now, could we go ahead and utilize our stealth as our stop and then get back in? Yes. Now, if you don't want to give a bunch of this away, you can absolutely do that. This little trader right here will more than likely make a huge, huge difference in your bottom line. Because we've called these trades for a long time to begin with, when we see them in the room and everything. But we've had to hit them manually. And sometimes, it'll be kind of quick and things like that, or you have to really have your eyes sharpened on a particular chart. So with this built into it, it'll just take the trades. Now, if I turn this off of auto, it'll quit taking trades. If I turn that off right there, it won't take another trade, except this one. Watch it, it'll go off whenever this fires again, if it fires again. Now there's your break again. See how you got your little gap in stealth? Gap in stealth. Just fired again, but see how that went off? Now I won't get any more contracts. We've got this designed really super, super well so that a person can actually, be like a really professional trader. Okay? Notice how my stop just follows this with my trail stop. It's important to have that trail stop, and we've got that built into Object Trader now with stealth or with the dynamic trend or with the lightning. Now, if you choose lightning, I'll show you how to use it. Lightning is trail 1. Notice I changed the names of them too. Trail PM, trail stealth, trail VIP, which is your dynamic trend. Okay, see how your stop trails that trade automatically? Let's see, Mindy says the hardest thing for me is staying in a trade when it comes back at me. I always want to take the profit. And that's the thing. The one thing that will absolutely add to your bottom line, though, is to hold a trade and even add. You notice when in the room I'll talk about, this is going to be a good point to add at. You see what I mean? Those can be really, really good. Now notice that you're actually got down pretty well, okay? Now this is a pretty good little thrust down. If you want to, with a thrust like that, you can also always do this too. If this happens to get a green. Now I'm not saying that we would do this because we've got a background that's red, but let's just see if we could get a reversal, because that's a pretty good thrust. We'll find out. I'm going to move the stop. Well, it got our stop anyway, so that's not going to do it. Now we'll have to just turn it on or go the other way. See how our green stealth just came on? That stopped us out, but it didn't reverse us. Let's see if we can get, we got a green stealth. Let's see if we can get a scalp trade. I'm going to try for like 7 ticks and do just one target. That's my first stealth. Let's see if we can get something. That's when you get some of these little deeper retracements sometimes. Okay, we just got green stealth. There you go. You just got you a profit target. See, stealth works. Okay, stealth works. This is where, notice that this just went down, 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 and then they started doing the old lightning dance up. Stealth saw that, and it stopped us out of our short, right, because I turned that on, but it actually even went long here and got a quick 7 ticks. 4 contracts, is only, it's $20 a tick, but 7 ticks is $140. So, see, that adds up extremely, extremely nice. Now, since we're in a downtrend, if you want to, all you have to do is stay trend specific, and you do not have to take anything but the red. Okay, and the way to do that is simply do this. Turn on require trend, auto LESC, wait for a red stealth, and since this is actually doing what we call a phantom type trade, this is a lot of times when they start consolidating, so I would probably draw a box, something like that, and more than likely that's what we're going to stay in for a while. Unless we break up and head up. Okay, and we could go ahead and turn on stealth on that, like, see, we've got 1, 2, we could actually just go for the next one, something like that if it goes green again. Or we could wait for just red. Okay, let's see, that was the second stealth, but you did not have to change 0, 1 for second. Yeah, I got to get with the programmer on that to find out exactly how he coded that, because the way I understood him the other night was that if you pick 0, it just ignores and just fires stealths. If you pick 1, it looks for the first stealth. If you pick 2, it looks for the second stealth. And of course, from then on, if you pick 3, it would look for the third stealth. That's what this offset will do on here. If you leave it at 0, it'll just fire regardless. Okay, let's see if we can get another trade. We're only 30 minutes into the webinar. Let's see, Michael says, I've been with you since OT began, and this is the best feature to date. Cool. Well, we've got people that have literally been with us since 2009. And, they know that we're a very innovative company and that we're going to give them the best tools that you can possibly get to trade with. Okay, now when they're doing this type of stuff, I usually scalp. The reason that I scalp in this stuff right here is because when it's sideways, what have you really got? You took out your lightning swing, see there? We don't know if it's going to head up yet. It hasn't taken out predictors. If it takes out white predictor, it'll more than likely head up. And we haven't gotten a red stealth, but if we do, we're in this stuff right now that we're going to scalp. Anytime you're above mid-band like this and you still got your magenta short, you're really looking for shorts, but you also don't want to just take every single trade in here. Now, I'm not saying that, if you're a good resistance trader, there's a trade there, see it? there's a trade there, and there's a trade there, and there's a trade there. You could short these, but you have to be watching for it manually. But with stealth, let's just see if we can get something. We're either going to get a big breakout, and if we change green background, we'll do that instead. But if we get a red stealth, we're going to scalp it and see if we can get something. Let's see what it does. There's your little stealth right there. And let's see, what have we got our, I'm going to go ahead and move this stop just a little bit and see if we can get our target at all. That's red stealth. And there you go, you just got you some more coin. Okay? Stealth. All right, we're still looking short, right? We're still looking short. So we're going to do another one. Let's see if we can get another one. Notice how when I have the auto LESE on, it stays on for me. Okay, let's see if we can get another one. Now notice I'm not paying as much attention to green unless it's like when it did this huge thrust down and I got my first one. Because when it's sideways like this, you're not going to want to buy this one. That wouldn't be 5 ticks. That one probably wouldn't be 5 ticks. See what I mean? And the background is still telling us shorts. Let's see. Fortunately, when it went up through the red, it didn't trigger. No, and you don't want it to do that because we didn't design it that way. There you go. You just got another one. Let's just go ahead and get our stop up a little bit, and there's going to get it. See if we get that one. Oh, that moved my stop because of the auto engaged. That's going back to line 5. That's where we set it. Okay. Now notice even in this choppy stuff right here, you're still getting some pretty decent trades, aren't you? If we get stopped out, it's no big deal, is it? Because we've gotten some really, really good trades. You know, this is pretty sideways. But isn't that a great little tool? That's a great little tool right there. You want to just play it some more? We've got 28 more minutes. I purposely came in here to play this, and I don't even trade NQ a lot of times, but with stealth, I probably will. Go over again the auto PM bar close and all that. What this is, Rome, let me just pause this for a second. Auto PM bar close predictor and stealth means that it goes into an auto mode and it'll just look for every single trade, period, that you tell it to. Okay, like if you choose 0, 1, 2, 3, or whatever. Okay. Same thing with predictor, same thing with bar close, and same thing with the lightning. Let's see, Mindy says also, I don't understand the stealth trailing stop. It seems too far back. Well, keep in mind that when you run, you know, when you're running a trade like this, you could always use lightning, for instance, on that. That's what I like to personally use, is like lightning 2. A lot of times. That's why we've put in 3 trail stops for you. Now, the stealth, keep in mind, though, let's just go through the scenario of what actually happened here. We just got another trade, by the way. Let's see if it pans out. All right, let's say that you got this stealth here and you took this one, okay, and you got stopped out here. So that's a pretty good little trade, and then you got back in here, stopped out here, back in here, didn't get stopped out here, I don't think anyway. You might have. It looks like it might have closed. Then back in. Stopped out, back in. You know, even though, one thing I want you to keep in mind too, you can also even adjust stealth if you want in Object Trader, and we're going to make it to where you can adjust it here also. See, right now this has just got an offset on it, but I want you to be able to actually even choose the range size bar that you want it to be on the fly. Okay? Because, for instance, let's say that instead of letting it, you know, stop you out here, maybe it would stop you out here instead if you had stealth differently. So we're going to add that to it, but it won't be on this release. This one here, what I would probably do is either put it on stealth period, which would be at 0. And then that means that if a bar closes above stealth, you'd be out. You'd be back in. Didn't close above, didn't close above. That one did, back in. Didn't close above, closed above, and you didn't even get that one back in at all. Let's see if that trade's going to work out. Let's see if that one's going to work out. We got in because stealth told us to. Wow, this time of night where everybody's asleep, evidently, because this is pretty slow. I'll do it about 50 times normal speed. Now, I usually like to go for a runner. A lot of times, especially when you start getting this high, low, lower high. See that lower high right there? That more than likely is going to work out because you do have a high, low, lower high, but you do have to take this out right here for it to resume its selling. Okay, let's go ahead and go with back in stealth again. That one stopped us, no big deal. Let's see if we can get back in it. We're going to go just strictly with the shorts for right now because we've got midband short, right? And if midband's short, do you really want to go against that thing? Because how many times have people, like little box in, to give an example, this is something that you got to really watch. What if you had boxed this in right here and you got in on the bar that closed up? You didn't get anything, right? So those bar types like that, there you go, just got it again. I think this can be a definite little trader for you. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop above the swing for just a second while I talk. And I'm going to use lightning as my trail stop. Lightning 2. And we'll engage the trail. It's right there at that swing. And I'm going to go a little bit of an offset of like 3. But I want it positive 3. There we go. That way it's just a little above that so I can talk. Okay? Like I say, it's going to be a very, very cool way to trade. Now that thrusts down again. You want to try it again? Well, we're in 2. We got our stop way up here for right now because that's our lightning swing. And there you are again. You just got in another stealth right there. And like I said, I want to really add this stop to it too. And that's that predictor stop. Because this is the way to make serious, serious coin, is staying with trends. See how those are white ellipses? Those are not telling us longs yet. Let's see, David says, does the stealth take the first close bar below the stealth red line? Well, what it is, it's the algorithm actually, David, is looking for that, but this is all also based on some proprietary stuff that we have, but also the fact that when these colors do this, there's a lot of momentum to it, and even the angular, the math, okay? It's looking at this math, and that's why you don't just see, a line that just goes like this, just all over the place. You're actually seeing these breaks, and the beauty of stealth is that'll get you in these trades at a really, really good spot. Let's see, are you going to use the Ninja Market Replay versus MarketReplay.net? I actually use the MarketReplay.net, and the reason that I do that is because you can actually download as much data as you want, and with Ninja you have to have your charts actually turned on, and I don't like that as much, but I do use the MarketReplay.net. Let's see if we can get in another one. We'll find out. This is pretty choppy sideways stuff now. We'll see. Let's see if stealth will get us another trade. Now when it's choppy like this, what do we do, everyone? We're going to scalp. Well, we didn't get it in time, but I would want to scalp. Anytime it's sideways like that, you really want to scalp. Okay, I'm going to go back to VIP Dynamic Trend, go with line 5, and just see what we get. Okay. Now, if that takes out our little white predictor right there, we probably shouldn't stay in this trade. How many of you are worried right now when you're down a little bit on a trade, though, and don't trust the swings, to give an example? Because those swings are pretty important. You know, I wouldn't be getting out of this trade just because I'm down, 5 or 6 ticks like this right here. I just wouldn't do it. Because what's the color of the background? And what are 4-range bars to begin with? They're very fast little bars to begin with, but they do these beautiful little stair-stepping ways. Okay, now notice we got another stealth. So we've actually got 8. Now, you might not want to do adding on when you're in sideways like this. That was probably a mistake. Okay, but we're going to stick with it just in case. Let's just see what we get. Lightning. Let's go with lightning instead. I'm going to go with, let's see, you got a high, low, lower, high, lower, low. So that swing right there should actually hold on the close of a bar. And that one for sure should. You know, there's been times that, for instance, if you get in at the wrong spot, to give an example, you've got to let the trade do its thing. You know, if it's doing the lightning dance down, then stick with the lightning. You know, if you can't see the lightning, draw it on your chart. You got the tools. Okay, let's see. I plot a white dash EMA. Okay. And it shadows that, Walter? Yeah, the beauty of it is that it actually gives you the ability to get the stealth where it has these breaks in it and get these trades, get this trade, however you want to do the trade. Now, what I normally do is if I get in a trade, I watch my swings, high, low, lower, high. I would probably put my stop on this particular trade even just above this swing. See it? Thrust, retrace, thrust, retrace, thrust. That swing when I got in that trade. Okay? Let's just see if for the fun of it we can get in brand new, just like you had just walked in the room. Let's just see if we can get a trade. Stealth will do it if it's going to do it. Let's see. There it is. There it is. Move one target. What do y'all think about Stealth Trader so far? I think it's going to be pretty well used. VIP trail roam, that simply means, let me slow this down just a little bit. What the trail stop is, let's go over that just a little bit, because this is really important to get your trails in as the trade starts up and everything. Okay, your trail, we've got 3 trails on here. Your VIP trail is this trail. Okay, let me just draw some lines on here. This is line 0. Well, it's all the way down here, but let's just start here. This is line 1. See it right there? This is line 2. See that line right there? This is line 3, line 4, line 5 right there, line 6, line 7, and line 8. That's these lines right here. Okay, so if I put it on like 5, to give an example, and engage trail, it'll engage it on 5. If I go to 6, it'll engage it up at 6. See there? If I go to 7, it'll engage it all the way up there. If I go to 8, it'll engage it all the way to there. Okay? That can all be done on the fly. But what if now that I've had a good run and I see that it's been holding line 2, see here? I can actually just go ahead, you know what? I'll just go with line 2 and engage it. Just like that. On the fly. We've designed everything that we've done to be done on the fly. Okay? Now, when you get a nice run like this and a nice thrust, if you're the type of person that actually likes to do even different type of trades, you can certainly do it. Okay? Because when I see thrusts like this, you could turn on green and probably get a scalp. You could more than likely turn on green here and get a scalp, because that looks like a pretty good thrust. They're going to retrace at some time or another. And that's where stealth can make a big difference in your trading. Okay? Now notice we got this thing to like 33. I don't remember every trade or anything like that, but would you have gone long on these right here, these green stealths? No. No. But could you if you wanted to? Well, if you do those, I would scalp and be willing to lose a little bit on them. And usually if I scalp something like that, for instance, if I scalped this one on that bar close, if that bar closed down, I'd get out. If I scalped it on this one here and that bar closed down, I'd get out. You see what I mean? That's what scalping is. You don't want it, for instance, go, okay, I'm going to let it close up and then it goes down and I'm going to hold it through this swing. No. If you're going to do that, I would get out. For instance, this one here, that one didn't close up to begin with, so it wouldn't have fired, because green will only fire on the bar going up. So you'd never get that trade to begin with. Okay? Better to use PM1 for scalp. I think so too. You want to try that? We got about 14 minutes left. Let's just try a PM, show everybody. See if we can get a PM that'll scalp. I'm going to do a PM, 4 contracts. We'll kill stealth for right now. We'll turn on PM1. We'll turn on long. We've got to turn off trend. Turn on long, and we'll just see if we can simply get a scalp. And usually if I do a scalp like that, I would probably even do 5 and 7. Something like that. Let's see if it works. PM will actually fire right there. That didn't get me in though. Why not? That should have gotten me in right there on that little break. Or did I have short on? Did I have long on just then? Long shut off. Oh, okay. Long shut off. That is something else that he is also working on. Let's see if we can get it again. I've tried to get this on video for him, and it does it on lightning mostly, and it irritates the fool out of me. Let's see if it turns off or it actually fires. That won't get it. We got to do lightning too. No, we didn't get it because that was already green. See where, okay, let's do stealth instead. Let's try it. This looks like it might head up. Let's do a scalp stealth. See if stealth will do its thing instead. That's a little later than I would have wanted it by mid-band, but let's just see if it works. Stealth went green. There you go. You just got you a scalp. Okay. How many have any questions on this so far too? Do you see how to operate it when you get it next week? Because it's going to be a pretty good little trader for you. Now that would have fired a short if we would have turned that on, by the way. Okay. See that stealth right there? That would have been I mean, think about this. How many dollars would that be? Let's do either way it goes. Let's just see what it does. That's a double bottom. How many train your eyes to really quickly see double bottoms? See that? When it barely takes out that swing like that, that's probably going to change trends. And the reason you know that is because when it breaks a swing, you have a high, you have a low, and you have a lot lower low, then you could still head down. But then you head up, you check its swing, and you double bottom. This more than likely will actually before long, actually head up. And then you could turn on your stealth green or red, see which one it gets. Let's go for a, look at that. Got you a little trade right there. Got you a little trade right there. Now, what if stealth, this is one thing about stealth though, what if stealth just keeps heading up? We're not going to get another trade unless we get a little break in stealth, are we? Exactly. Let's see, Gary, to take both sides, do you turn on auto? Yeah, you could actually turn on auto on that. Let's see if we can get, now I would be getting this trade already anyway, obviously, because it's even breaking support here with any kind of pullback. Okay. Now this is one area, if we don't get a break in stealth, we will never get a trade. But you could turn on lightning in a case like this if you get a lightning red. But see how this stealth is actually staying under the prices right here? That's the one thing about it. It will never fire that trade. See there? I told you that was a trend change. I've seen that a million times. Now, I'm not saying that we wouldn't have already hit market, obviously, because you would definitely be in this trade by now. Okay? But let's just do it with stealth just for the fun of it. Let's say that you got up at 6:20 in the morning and you want to just see if you can get a little trade. There's a break of stealth. See if we can get a trade. Got you a trade. See if it works out. You want to add to it? Yeah, let's add to it. If we get another green stealth, that is. See, because it vacated that one right there. See, it's blank now. So if it gets another one, it will add by simply turning that on like that. And we just got in total of 4. Turned out even after all that, we still got us a decent little trade, didn't we? And if you ever wanted to reverse this, you got to make sure that you turn off required trend. See how you could have reversed that and got you a little quick trade? Let's see which way this thing decides to go. NQ moves fairly fast sometimes. I'm going to get this out of the way. Well, I pulled it and it didn't. See if we can get a... We're going to go either way this decides to go. There's stealth, there's stealth. Red, red. That's pretty much telling us we're trying to head down. There you go. Just got it. What do you think? And by the way, I'm running this at 50 times normal speed too. So, that's not too shabby to see that type of trades. Now, would we have gotten this move as Viper traders if our room would have been open? Now, we don't open our room at 5:30 in the morning to begin with. Okay. So this wouldn't have been a trade we would have taken. Let me kill these right now. Notice how that fired anyway? Wow, that's like, whoa. We'll probably get stopped on this one because that stealth went red just then. Okay? That's moving too quick right now. That's way too quick. All right, let's see. Why green stealth is double line, but the red is single line? Well, it won't actually be that way. What we do, we've added an indicator called stealth trend MTF. That's with your strategy, but it's also in the indicators. Let me show it to you. See if I can find it right there. That's stealth trend right there. Now what you want to do is you actually want to take that one off and put the new stealth trend MTF 4 range, and they'll be exactly the same. The reason for that is because he worked on the algorithm a little bit on stealth to make sure that it was much more responsive, and the strategy has MTF built into it, which is multi-tick frame capability. Now, multi-tick frame capability means that you can change stealth to a 6 range, or you can do anything you want with this thing, okay? So what it really boils down to, it's going to be a phenomenal little trader. Let's see here. You want to see if we can get another trade? We'll turn on either one, and let's just see if we get a trade. I'll do it about 10 or 12 times just for the fun of it. There you just got you a green one. See the green show up? Notice how we got in that before that green ever showed up. That's because of our algorithm. Monster. There you go. And you just hit all your targets. Now keep in mind that we would move our targets also. There's a little red one. And it turned off because we obviously had this where it's not doing anything now because they're turned off. If you have it on auto, they will stay on. That way you can turn them on. Required trend would be long right now, right? And if you didn't do required trends, you could even do either side of the stealth. Okay, if it's sideways like this, I always like to scalp. All right, let's see, Gary, if stealth is red, then becomes green, does it close the red one? You know, I've got to check into that because I think I noticed that also, and I don't want that. I want it to, you know, maybe we do want it. I'll talk with him this afternoon or this weekend and ask him if that's the way he coded that, because I noticed that also just then, and I think that's what did that. And that's also another reason why we're in the process of totally testing this thing out, because I want everybody to be able to do something like this right here by simply using our tools. And we've got a lot of our traders that do just this. I mean, they kill it every single day with our trading tools and everything. And it's definitely not a bad way. You want to just see, this is about 8:30 in the morning. Let's just turn on a green stealth trend and see if we can get another trade. That's a predictor, by the way. This is one of my favorite trades called Phantom. So I'd already be in this trade, by the way, long. But let's see if stealth will get us in. Let's see, if you want everyone to make money, you just gave them a tool to do it. I think so. I really think so, Pat. I totally agree with you. And the beauty of this little tool is, with the way we've designed it and everything, to add on and things like that. And you won't believe what's coming in the very near future on Viper also. Look at there. Just got you another one. I would probably move my target since we just went in for a scalp. What is also coming to Viper very shortly is this little beauty. Let me show you. Let's say that you remember a little while ago when we missed this monster move right here because stealth hit targets too quick. Remember? How would you like to have something like this? Lightning 1. Let me draw it. Not Control, Alt, sorry. All right. How would you like this? This is next. What if you got, you know, you just thought, well, you know, this may only go up a little bit, and you hit a target and you had stealth on. Well, notice stealth never touched that line until way down, way up here. That's not where I really want that trade, although it worked out. Okay. This is where you want the trade. You want to stay with it. Okay. But we're going to add a feature to Object Trader that will watch these pullbacks. So you break a high. Let me just draw it from down here. You'll see it. Okay, you've got a high, you've got a low, you've got a higher high, right? So when this gets a higher low and closes a bar up, we want to be able to add a contract if we want. Okay, let me turn this off so it doesn't mess this up. All right, we want to be able to add a contract here, 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 and then if it takes lightning out, you get out of the trade. But I want to be able to do this in real time on the fly to where we can actually add to our trades with, it'll probably be one more object type, either called PM1 or it will be real-time lightning. Okay, and I think that will be a pretty good one because, you know, the way you'll be able to do that, you know, for instance, like this little green stealth here, see where that came down with that higher low right there? You could actually add on that if you wanted to. Now, I wouldn't be buying a green stealth under a magenta usually, unless it had a really good thrust down. And that one did, so it probably would have scalped. See how that would have scalped right there? And look at that green stealth right there. Another phenomenal trade. And of course, we don't have it turned on right now to take some of these. I'll go ahead and turn this off. And we only have it set to scalp, so you're probably not even seeing it when it jumps in and gets out as quick as it actually jumped in, because I've got this still running pretty fast. Okay, now if you'll notice that NQ is one of those that actually stays with a whole bunch of moves during a day. Okay, this is only the open of the market. Everybody see that? Now let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's look for a stealth trade. And there's your stealth trade. We'll stick with it. We'll put our stop just underneath this predictor. Is good enough for me, so I'm going to use line 3. That'll keep us pretty much there. Okay, everybody see why I'm doing that? Because that's where your lightning swing is, right over here pretty much. See it? Held. I've got to add this particular trail stop. Sorry, I got a catch in my throat. I'm going to add this little trail stop here because for longer term trades and everything, this little trail stop works. See how that you've got a predictor, barely went down a little bit, but that's like an ABC is all that is. Okay, and let's fire this up and see for the fun of it. And I'm going to move these out of the way. And we're going to turn on auto. We'll do, we won't do required trend just in case. We'll do auto, but we're going to stay long as this thing's mid-bands like that. And let's just see what this did, just for the fun of it. See your predictor show up? Now, if that was a stop, I think that'd be a good stop. Watch predictor will show up again. There you go. See if we get another predictor. You will. Another predictor right there. Let's get our targets out of the way. See if we get another predictor. Another predictor. Stealth is not green right now. It looks like that might take us out, took us out. Green stealth's back on still. We're looking long so far. Now it's changed to red background, but we still haven't gotten a mid band. There we got our mid band. So guess what? You could have looked for what we call the second stealth. See how beautiful that held through an entire move like that? You just can't beat a trade like that. And then, of course, you'd probably want to turn on your red stealth. With it sideways, I'd probably just scalp it. Okay? What does everybody think? You want this next week? I think it can work out pretty cool. NQ, I don't know if anybody's counted the amount of bars in a day, but it's in the thousands. And this little trader can make a big difference, especially the way we designed it. Because with the fact that you can turn the trend on, and by the way, with auto LESE on, this would automatically, you want to see this just real quick before we go? If this was green and this turns to red, this auto LESE will actually change that from green to red automatically if you have that on. I don't know if I can actually, let's see, I'll go back to 843 and let's just see if it does. Because that's something we definitely are working on. And I think it works in this one already. The programmer wanted me to get back with him if there was any changes that I needed this weekend before we get this blasted out. And I'll be practicing literally all day with it, even today. All right, let's see. Bear with it just a second. Object Trader's just coming up. Okay, let's turn on. Let me go to about 8:30 first, though. We want to get to that real nice move that it had. Just a second. I'll turn it on 500 times. Still loading. I got about 10 charts that's loading, unfortunately. Should have turned those all off. Let's just test this out. I don't think anybody's got anything like this, though, because You know, if you set up some kind of a, you know, anything else is not trend specific. You know, if you can get trend specific with something, it makes it pretty good to have. I think I just might have killed Ninja. No, it's okay. Let's see if we can get that big move first. We saw it about 8:30. All right, now let's turn this on. Oh, we got to go to stealth. And we won't turn the reverse on. I want to show you how this should change. Let's see if it does. If it gets to a magenta mid-band, it should change to short. Auto LESC. Still long. Still long. See if it changes. That went up some more. Let's see if it'll change. There you go. See it change? Is that cool or what? That's a pretty cool little deal. Now, I'm not exactly sure though. Oh, I know why it didn't fire. When I restarted this, I forgot to put my stealth back on. And when you restart Object Trader, notice how stealth is not on the chart anymore. That's why it didn't fire that trade. But did you notice that it did change from long to short? Just like we designed it. But notice that stealth is not on the chart right now. The reason for that is because you can't really back up market replay and then start again without actually doing this. You really need to redo your Ninja script like so and take Object Trader off the chart and put it back on. The reason for that is because you just went back in time and Object Trader said, what the heck are you doing here? I was at 9:30 in the morning and now you're at 7:30. What are you doing to me? So that's why it did that. Okay? But I think you're going to really like this. It's going to be a cool new tool for everyone. And as always with Viper trading systems, even though we spend thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars doing this type of thing, we never charge anybody extra. We always make sure it's part of our system. Okay, and I don't know of any vendors out there that do that. Now, for people that coming in the future, that may not happen because we're going to have to start recouping some of those fees, just for the books as far as that goes down the road, but not from our members ever. Okay, explain trend under trail 2. Okay, I'll show that to you, Rome. Just one sec. And then we'll go ahead and wrap because I'm about 8 minutes over. But your trend on trail 2, let me show you how to see it in real time too. The space bar. If you go to your trend, your trail 2 is stealth. Okay, if you hit the space bar, actually we're not getting stealth on our chart again for some reason. Let me see why. We should have stealth on our chart. Stealth trail, stealth bar selection. I'm not sure exactly why our stealth has disappeared. I'll bet you I've got an error in the log and he'll have to fix it. Yep, I do. Okay. I'll have to fix this. An error. And that's what we're looking for on this. It's trying to access an index with a value that's out of range. So he'll fix that little error on that, and I'll probably have that by Monday. So what I would have to do is more than likely start an entire new chart. Rome, I can do that, or I can show it on Monday, either way. But what is happening right there is when I went backwards like that, it called an error up on bar update because we were going backwards instead of forward. And it may not even be an error. It just may be that it did that simply because, rather than taking the stuff off the chart. See, MTF indicators are looking at what we call multiple tick frames. And when they're looking at multiple tick frames like that, you can't go backwards. So that's what did that. But if you've got a second Rome, I'll go ahead and get another chart for you. I've got one right here. Let's just try it. Okay, let's go to Trail 2, Stealth. And if you hit the space bar, it'll show you Stealth. See Stealth right there? Now this is set not on this Stealth right here. I haven't adjusted this one because when we went back, I don't have it set. And if you go like this, see how it perfectly goes with Stealth? But the beauty of Stealth is you even have an offset. You know, like I can do this in real time while my trade's on the books. See, for instance, if I see that something like this is holding, let's say that I saw this way back here. See how I can actually even pull it back underneath and use the Stealth that way and see it kind of pulls back. Or I can just simply use it any way I want. It's got an offset on it. Okay. You've also got the ability to change Stealth to a different size also. Let's see, where's it at? Right here. Bar close for Stealth. You can actually choose a 6 range if you want. You know, if I do that as a 6 range, then this is going to do 2 stealths because it's going to show my indicator and my stealth on Object Trader. And don't let this confuse you too much because, you know, we'll get the templates out and everything that all you'll have to do is just put them on. Okay? See how that's got 2 stealths now? This one and this one. That's because I changed that to a 6 range instead. Okay? So you'll be able to do this any way you want it. You know, if you want stealth to actually fire on a 6 range bar instead of a 4, you can do it. Because we're not going to make this black box. It's going to be to where you can adjust it the way you want it. If you don't want some of these down here firing at all, see how that's a 4 range one? This is the 6 range. It fired on this bar. Okay? But we've also found that just choosing second 4 range also works quite well too. You know, most of our people have really figured this out. And the reason for that is what? You're getting a high, a low, a high, a higher low. It breaks stealth again and off you go. But we've designed this into Object Trader. And by the way, if anybody's here on my invite this morning, if you'd like to have this great tool, subscribers will never pay more than what we just offer our stuff for. But we will have to recoup on this thing one of these days, and it will not be off our subscribers. But that would mean people coming in the future would probably pay for stealth. Okay? Will it work on OT Renko bars? I have been testing it on OT Renko bars. It seems to be. Love it already, Jonathan says. Thanks everyone for coming. This was a special webinar by Viper Trading Systems just to show the new stealth. But show it off a little bit too, because it does work. Okay? It'll make a big difference in all of our trading. And we will cut it off at some time, by the way, because we all in our room trade to make our money. And if it ever gets to the point where we don't get the proper fills, we'll stop putting this out to anyone, because except our members, obviously. But we will limit it at a particular point. Because, you know, for instance, I want this trade down here on that bar. I don't want it here. You see what I mean? Okay. So, you know, if you do want something like this, if you're not with us, send me an email. I'll be happy to talk to you about it. The recording will be sent out, yes. Matter of fact, instead of sending it out, just go to vipertradingsystems.com to our webinar link. By about 2 o'clock this afternoon, I'll have it up there. All right. Thanks, everyone, for coming. I ran about 15 minutes over, but I think you can clearly see this can probably make a big difference in your trading. And thanks again. Bye, everyone. Well, in a way, David says just program you to come onto our charts, and that'll be good. That's what we're doing here. We're actually programming everything we see on these charts into Object Trader. Okay, thanks again. I just saw that last comment. Bye, everyone.